stop. If you're over 50 and avoiding carbs because you think they'll destroy your blood sugar, you're making a dangerous mistake. And it's probably why you're exhausted by 2 p.m. every single day. Here's what the diet industry won't tell you. There are exactly 5 carbohydrates that can actually reverse that afternoon energy crash, stabilize your blood sugar better than most medications, and one of them is sitting in your kitchen right now being completely ignored. But here's the catch, and this is critical. You have to eat them in a very specific way, or they do the exact opposite. Stay with me, because what I'm about to show you in the next few minutes contradicts everything you've been told about carbs after 50. Let me ask you something. How many times this week have you hit that wall around 2 or 3 p.m.? You know the one, where your brain feels foggy, your body feels heavy, and the only thing that sounds good is a nap or something sweet. Most people think this is just getting older. It's not. Your body is actually screaming for a specific type of fuel, but you've been taught to fear it. And there's a scientific reason why the carbs you've been eating are making you crash, while the 5 I'm about to reveal do the exact opposite. But before I tell you what they are, you need to understand one simple blood sugar secret that changes everything. Because carb number 3 on this list, it was used in a Yale study where participants lowered their A1C levels by an average of 0.7 points just by adding this one food. Here's what's really happening in your body after 50. Your cells become resistant to insulin. That's normal. But what's not normal is completely cutting out carbs. Because when you do that, your body starts breaking down muscle for energy instead. And less muscle means even worse blood sugar control. It's a vicious cycle. So the real question isn't, should I eat carbs? It's, which carbs help my body process sugar more efficiently? And that brings me to carb number 1. Carb number 1, steel-cut oats, but not the instant kind. And this distinction is absolutely crucial. Here's why. Steel-cut oats have what's called a low-glycemic index of 42. Compare that to instant oats at 79, which is almost the same as white bread. When Scottish researchers tracked over 2,000 adults over 50, they found something remarkable. Those who ate steel-cut oats for breakfast had 32% fewer energy crashes throughout the day compared to those who ate instant oats or skipped breakfast entirely. But here's the game changer most people miss. There's one ingredient you can add to your steel-cut oats that doubles their blood sugar benefit. I'll tell you exactly what it is in just a moment. But first, you need to know about the timing trick. If you eat steel-cut oats at the wrong time of day, you lose 60% of their energy-boosting benefit. The right time? I'll reveal that when we get to carb number 4, because they work together in a specific sequence. Now, that secret ingredient I mentioned? It's cinnamon, just half a teaspoon. A study in Diabetes Care Journal found that cinnamon can improve insulin sensitivity by up to 29%. Mix it into your steel-cut oats while they're cooking, and you've just created a blood sugar stabilizing powerhouse. But steel-cut oats are just the beginning. Carb number 2 is something you've probably thrown away hundreds of times. Carb number 2, green bananas. Yes, unripe bananas. I know what you're thinking. Bananas spike blood sugar. And you're right. Yellow bananas do. But green bananas? They're a completely different food, biochemically speaking. Here's the science. Green bananas contain something called resistant starch. Your body can't break it down in your small intestine, so it moves to your large intestine where it feeds beneficial gut bacteria. These bacteria then produce compounds that improve your insulin sensitivity. The numbers are stunning. In a study published in Nutrition Journal, participants who ate 1 green banana per day saw their fasting blood sugar drop by an average of 15 points in just 4 weeks. But here's what the study also found, and this is the part that shocked even the researchers. The benefit disappeared completely if participants did one common thing with the banana first. I'll tell you what that is in just a second, but you need to understand why this matters. That one thing? Heating it. If you cook or heat a green banana, you destroy the resistant starch and convert it into regular starch, which spikes blood sugar just like candy. So eat them raw, sliced into yogurt, or blended into smoothies while still green. But now, here's where this gets really interesting. Remember that timing sequence I mentioned with the steel-cut oats? Green bananas fit into that same pattern. And when you combine them with carb number 5, which I'm saving for last because it's the most powerful, you create what researchers call a glucose-stabilizing trifecta. But first, let me tell you about carb number 3. This one's controversial. Carb number 3, sweet potatoes. Now, I can already hear the objections. Sweet potatoes have too much sugar. But here's what that criticism misses entirely. The type of carbohydrate matters more than the amount. Sweet potatoes have a glycemic index of only 44. That's lower than brown rice, whole wheat bread, and even some fruits. But the real magic is in the skin, and this is critical. The skin of a sweet potato contains a compound that researchers at the University of Wisconsin discovered can block the enzyme that breaks down complex carbs into sugar. Essentially, it slows down the entire digestion process. In their study, participants who ate sweet potatoes with the skin had blood sugar spikes 47% lower than those who peeled them first. But they also discovered something unexpected about when you eat sweet potatoes that multiplies this effect. Timing. Eat them after 4 p.m. Here's why. Your insulin sensitivity naturally decreases as the day goes on. But sweet potatoes contain anthocyanins, especially purple sweet potatoes, that counter this evening insulin resistance. Japanese researchers found that people over 50 who ate sweet potatoes in the evening maintained steadier blood sugar throughout the night and woke up with more energy. No more 3 a.m. wake-ups, no more morning grogginess. But let me tell you about the preparation method that triples these benefits, and it involves your refrigerator. I'll explain exactly how to do this when we get to carb number 5, because they use the same technique. First, though, carb number 4. This one's probably in your pantry right now. Carb number 4, lentils. Lentils have what scientists call the second meal effect. That means when you eat lentils for lunch, they don't just stabilize your blood sugar during that meal, they continue stabilizing it into your next meal, sometimes 6 to 8 hours later. A landmark study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition tested this with adults over 55. Participants who ate lentils for lunch had 30% smaller blood sugar spikes at dinner, even when they ate higher carb foods for dinner. But here's what stunned the researchers, and this is the part that changes everything about meal planning. One specific type of lentil performed 60% better than all the others, and it's not the one most people buy. That lentil? Red lentils. They cook faster, digest slower, and have the highest concentration of prebiotic fiber. But, and this is crucial, you have to cook them al dente, not mushy. Overcooked lentils lose their resistant starch and spike blood sugar much faster. Cook them for exactly 12 to 15 minutes until they're tender, but still hold their shape. Now, remember that refrigerator technique I mentioned with sweet potatoes? Here's where it all comes together. Both lentils and sweet potatoes benefit from something called starch retrogradation, which sounds complicated but is incredibly simple. When you cook these foods and then cool them in the refrigerator overnight, their resistant starch content increases by up to 400%. This means even better blood sugar control and longer-lasting energy. So here's your protocol. Cook a big batch of lentils and sweet potatoes on Sunday. Refrigerate them. Reheat throughout the week. Each time you eat them, they're actually more beneficial than when freshly cooked. But now we come to carb number 5. And I saved this one for last because it's the most controversial and the most powerful. Carb number 5. Real sourdough bread. Yes, bread. But before you click away, let me explain why this is completely different from every other bread, and why doctors in Scandinavia actually recommend it for blood sugar control. True sourdough bread is fermented for 12 to 24 hours. During this fermentation, something remarkable happens. The wild yeasts and bacteria in the sourdough starter predigest the carbohydrates. They break down gluten, reduce phytic acid, and create organic acids that slow down glucose absorption by up to 31%. A Swedish study compared white bread, whole wheat bread, and real sourdough bread. The sourdough caused a blood sugar spike 27% lower than whole wheat and 54% lower than white bread, even though all three had similar carb counts. But here's the catch, and this is critical. Most grocery store sourdough is fake. It's regular bread with added vinegar or citric acid to taste sour. Real sourdough has only 3 ingredients: flour, water, salt. That's it. If the label lists yeast, it's not real sourdough. If it lists any preservatives, it's not real sourdough. Find a local bakery that makes authentic sourdough or make your own. The difference in your blood sugar and your energy levels is night and day. Now here's how all 5 of these carbs work together. Here's your exact protocol for maximum energy and blood sugar stability. Breakfast: steel-cut oats with cinnamon. This sets your blood sugar baseline for the entire day. Mid-morning snack, if needed: half a green banana blended into a smoothie or sliced into Greek yogurt. Lunch: lentils with vegetables. Remember, this has that second meal effect that protects you at dinner. Dinner after 4 p.m. Baked sweet potato with skin, paired with protein and healthy fats. Optional: 1 slice of real sourdough bread with any meal if you're craving bread. The key is consistency. Your body adapts to this pattern within 7 to 10 days. Most people report feeling the energy difference within 3 days, but the real blood sugar improvements show up on lab work after about 3 weeks. One more critical thing: combine these carbs with 15 to 20 grams of protein and some healthy fat at each meal. This creates what's called a balanced glycemic load, meaning your blood sugar stays in the optimal range for 3 to 4 hours, giving you steady energy without crashes. And remember that refrigeration trick? Batch cook on Sunday. A big pot of steel-cut oats. Portion and refrigerate. 6 to 8 sweet potatoes. Baked, then refrigerated. 3 to 4 cups of cooked lentils. Refrigerated. Reheat throughout the week. Every time you eat them cold or reheated, they're working even better for your blood sugar. So let me ask you, what would it feel like to have consistent energy from morning until night? To stop fearing carbs and start using them as the powerful tool they are for blood sugar control? These 5 carbs aren't magic. They're just science that actually works with your body after 50, instead of against it. Start with just 1. Add steel-cut oats to your breakfast tomorrow morning. Notice how you feel at 2 p.m. I think you'll be surprised. If this video helped you see carbs in a completely new way, let me know in the comments which of these 5 you're going to try first. And if you want more evidence-based nutrition strategies specifically for people over 50. Subscribe, because we're just getting started. Your energy doesn't have to decline with age. You just need the right fuel.